It is officially official. Unrivaled is down bad for Caitlin Clark. And obviously everyone is a bit on bated breath if Caitlin Clark will be one of those people, but no one on bated breath more, it sounds like, than Nafisa Collier, Brianna Stewart, and every investor and person involved in Unrivaled.
After months of swirling rumors and countless debates, Caitlin Clark has finally put an end to the speculation. The basketball world has been on edge, wondering if the Indiana Fever star and WNBA Rookie of the Year would make the groundbreaking leap to Unrivaled, the upstart 3-on-3 league that promised excitement, innovation, and a hefty paycheck. Now the wait is over, and the answer is definitive.
So ESPN have essentially confirmed. They have confirmed that Caitlin Clark will not play in Unrivaled.
Clark's decision to focus on her WNBA career instead of joining Unrivaled has brought both clarity and reflection to fans and analysts alike. It wasn't just about one player. It was about the future of women's basketball. Could a star of Clark's magnitude reshape an emerging league? Or was her off-season priorities too significant to disrupt? As Caitlin Clark breaks her silence, she's not just making a choice. She's making a statement about priorities, legacy, and the evolution of her career. But what does her decision really mean for the basketball world? And how did Unrivaled's ambitious campaign end in one of the most talked about marketing missteps of the year? In this video, we'll dive into the drama, the decisions, and the impact of Caitlin Clark's choice. Before we break it down, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's go.
She has decided not to do Unrivaled, even though Aaliyah Boston's doing it, Lexi Hull is doing it, Kate Martin is doing it, and despite all the rumors, and I'm sure the push that was put on her. But Clark has all the leverage in this situation, and I'm not saying she flexed it, but she was comfortable enough in her position to make the decision, and it appears that answer is no.
How does a league no one's seen play a single game generate the kind of buzz usually reserved for championship teams? The answer? A full-court marketing press that positioned Caitlin Clark as the centerpiece of Unrivaled before she ever agreed to join. From the moment Unrivaled launched, Clark's name was a magnet for attention. Fans couldn't ignore the Easter eggs. It wasn't just fans connecting the dots. Reports surfaced of Unrivaled offering Clark a Messi-like deal, more than $1 million for an 8-week season, plus equity and revenue shares in the league. They even signed her close friends and teammates, including Lexi Hull, Kate Martin, and Aaliyah Boston, amplifying speculation that Clark's arrival was imminent. They even locked in a partnership with her longtime sponsor, State Farm. Why would Unrivaled go to such lengths? Because they knew what everyone in women's basketball knows. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. The Unrivaled hype machine was in full swing leading up to the November 20th roster reveal, with a promise that this sets a big foundation for the future of the league.
Unrivaled did the funniest thing last night that got a lot of us hooked in. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So just last night, Unrivaled put out this letter.
The night before, they release a teaser, dropping a cryptic hint of a 22-minute roster announcement video, a nod to Clark's jersey number. The league had 2 open roster spots until the big reveal day, only fueling the frenzy even more.
And at the very end, reminds you once again, 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. Eastern Time. 11 a.m. to 11:22 a.m. is a very specific time frame and a very specific amount of minutes for a video to be 22 minutes. Obviously, we all know that Caitlin Clark is number 22, and that has been the person that has been the most anticipated person that people either want to see in Unrivaled or people are just waiting to see if she is going to do it or not.
Fans braced themselves for a headline-grabbing reveal. Every tweet, every teaser, every strategic leak seemed to scream, Caitlin Clark is coming. But when the big day came, the 22-minute video left viewers confused, frustrated, and still waiting for answers. The wildcard spots remained unfilled, and the name everyone was hoping for was nowhere to be found. Unrivaled had done everything to make Caitlin Clark the story, except land the star herself. Fans quickly took to social media to call out what they saw as a blatant bait and switch, a clown show, and, beyond frustrating, were just some of the reactions flooding the timeline. The league's reliance on vague hints and empty suspense turned what should have been a triumphant day into a PR nightmare.
They've tried to do everything they could to make the most of the situation. They tried to make the most of Caitlin Clark not playing by hinting everything and and basically making people think that Caitlin Clark was going to play.
But there's no denying that Unrivaled proved one thing. Women's basketball has the power to dominate headlines and spark debate. By creating an aura of exclusivity and mystery, they captured the attention of millions, even if the payoff didn't meet expectations. Still, without its most marketable star, can Unrivaled truly thrive? Or has this spectacle done more harm than good to a league trying to prove itself? If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
I gotta ask you a basketball question. Yeah. I know that you work really hard in the off season. You said yesterday you're always trying to get better. Mm-hmm. What's the thing that you're working on in this off season?
I think, honestly, besides the actual basketball skill part of it, I think getting stronger. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm in the weight room a lot, just building that strength. Obviously, it was hard going right from the college season to the professional season. You don't get to spend a lot of time in the weight room. So that's what I've tried to focus on the most here. And then obviously, a lot of things on the court. I'm always wanting to get better, and that's kind of what drives me, and I love it. I love getting to do it, and I feel very fortunate that it's my job.
After weeks of mounting speculation, the basketball world finally got the answer it had been waiting for. Caitlin Clark would not be joining Unrivaled. The news, confirmed by ESPN hours after the league's much-hyped roster announcement, sent shockwaves across the sports landscape. It was the definitive end to a whirlwind of rumors that had dominated conversations for weeks. Interestingly, Clark herself remained silent. She didn't issue a statement, post on social media, or grant interviews. This absence of commentary only amplified the impact of ESPN's report. The quiet stood in stark contrast to the noise surrounding her name, allowing fans and analysts to speculate about the reasoning behind her decision.
And unfortunately, for some, and fortunately if you just like Caitlin Clark playing, she's not going to be playing. But at least it means it's less likely she gets injured before the WNBA season.
For the Indiana Fever, the announcement was a win. Clark's choice to prioritize her WNBA career solidified her commitment to a franchise that had pinned its resurgence on her star power. Fever fans rejoiced on social media, expressing relief and optimism. "This is exactly what we hoped for," one wrote, reflecting the confidence that Clark's continued presence brings to their team's future. A lot expressed relief as this minimizes the chance of Clark getting an injury before her sophomore season.
I know some of y'all were very happy that she's not doing Unrivaled, as to stick it to the people who treated her poorly. And
on the other hand, Unrivaled faced a public relations crisis. After weeks of teasing Clark as a potential signing, her absence from their inaugural roster exposed the risks of their heavy reliance on her name. The infamous 22-minute roster reveal, laden with Easter eggs hinting at Clark's involvement, sparked outrage among fans. Critics called out the league for overselling a possibility they seemingly never had under control.
They released a 22-minute long video for no reason, and for some reason started it with a timer. So, yeah, there is a random timer for no reason. For absolutely no reason. There is a random timer now counting down for the first 2 minutes of this video.
Beyond the frustration, however, the conversation turned to Clark's reasoning. Some pointed to her grueling schedule, having transitioned directly from her historic college season into an extraordinary rookie campaign. "She's earned the right to step back," one fan commented, applauding her decision to prioritize recovery and longevity over short-term financial gain. At its core, Clark's decision reflected a deeper truth: the immense pressure placed on athletes who exist at the intersection of talent, marketability, and media scrutiny. While stepping away from Unrivaled spared her from additional demands, it also reinforced her status as a singular force in women's basketball. Her choice wasn't just personal, it was symbolic of her belief in the WNBA's potential to grow and evolve.
I feel like basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. And then I came here and was trying to give everything I could to this team and kind of move on and put all that behind me and help this team, get back to the playoffs. So I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back. And
as the dust settled, the spotlight shifted to Unrivaled's next steps. Could the league recover from the hype they couldn't deliver on? And for Clark, what does this mean for her journey with the Fever and the future of the WNBA? While Unrivaled may have missed its golden opportunity, Clark's unwavering focus on her role with the Indiana Fever demonstrated her understanding of the larger picture, the growth of the WNBA, and her place as its cornerstone.
Unrivaled just announced their rosters for this upcoming season while simultaneously pulling off the biggest troll in sports history.
Clark's rookie season didn't just elevate her own status. It redefined the perception of women's basketball as a whole. From packed arenas to record-breaking viewership, her presence alone created a seismic shift in how the league was viewed. During her debut season, 21 broadcasts featuring Clark drew over 1 million viewers each, an unprecedented achievement in the WNBA's 27-year history. For comparison, only a handful of games crossed the same threshold in the prior decade. In fact, this outdrew even a lot of games of the NBA this season. But it wasn't just about television ratings. The Fever's home games became a spectacle, with attendance records shattered game after game. The Indiana Fever, a franchise that had once struggled to fill seats, suddenly averaged over 17,000 fans per game. Opposing teams even began booking larger venues just to accommodate the demand whenever Clark came to town. However, her influence wasn't limited to the stats and accolades. Clark's unselfish play style elevated those around her, turning the Fever into legitimate playoff contenders for the first time in years. Her record-setting assists weren't just numbers. They represented a new era of team-oriented basketball that was as entertaining as it was effective. She had reignited excitement for women's basketball on a scale that many had only dreamed of.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the Fever rookie.
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
The question now isn't just how Clark will shape the Fever, but how she'll continue reshaping the entire landscape of women's sports. With year 2 on the horizon, Clark's influence is set to grow even larger. But how far can the Caitlin Clark effect go? And what does her presence mean for the WNBA's future as it looks to capitalize on this unprecedented momentum? Unrivaled entered the spotlight with high hopes of revolutionizing women's basketball, but Caitlin Clark's decision to decline their offer left the league at a crossroads. For Unrivaled, the backlash revealed a deeper issue: their dependence on one player's star power to drive the league's debut. By focusing so heavily on Clark, they unintentionally highlighted a gap in their roster-building strategy. Though the league features prominent WNBA stars like Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, the absence of its most marketable figure created an undeniable void. Critics questioned whether Unrivaled's vision could truly thrive without her. Analysts noted that the league's fate would hinge on its ability to captivate fans with dynamic gameplay and compelling matchups, even without Clark.
We'll see how Unrivaled does without Caitlin Clark. They could still succeed, but we know what it would have meant if they had secured her on one of those rosters.
Clark's decision, however, wasn't merely a rejection of Unrivaled. It was a statement about priorities. Her focus on recovery also set a precedent for athletes in the spotlight, encouraging others to prioritize their health. For Clark, the decision reinforced her position as a cornerstone of the WNBA. Her belief in the WNBA's potential to thrive through collective talent and dedication underscored her role as both a leader and an ambassador for the sport. As Unrivaled charts a new path and the WNBA continues to rise, Clark's influence looms large. She's not just shaping her legacy, she's redefining the narrative of what women's basketball can achieve on its own terms. Caitlin Clark's decision not to join Unrivaled was more than just a momentary headline. It was a defining statement in her already storied career. While some viewed her choice as a missed opportunity for the new league, it underscored her commitment to the WNBA and her long-term vision for the sport.
In women's sports, it's a big opportunity to be a part of this rising tide that we're all experiencing. Everybody in this company's all in. Everybody in this city's all in.
Her first year as a professional wasn't just remarkable, it was revolutionary. Clark shattered 62 records, delivered must-see performances, and revitalized a franchise that had languished in obscurity for years. She became synonymous with excellence, leading the Indiana Fever to their first playoff berth since 2016, and proving that her talent wasn't just hype, it was transformative. Fans now eagerly await her sophomore season, and the stakes couldn't be higher. With teammates like Aaliyah Boston providing a dominant presence in the paint, Kelsey Mitchell's all-around scoring, and Lexi Hull's sharpshooting from beyond the arc, the Fever are poised for a breakout year. Clark's chemistry with this young, dynamic core could make Indianapolis a true powerhouse in the league. Expectations aren't just high, they're sky high.
The future is so bright, and our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2012.
Yet Clark's influence transcends the game itself. She has become a cultural icon, a beacon of possibility for women in sports. At just 22, Clark is redefining what it means to be a leader, not just on the court, but in life. Her effect on the WNBA is undeniable. Attendance records, broadcast viewership, and merchandise sales soared during her rookie season, marking the beginning of what many are calling the Clark era. Analysts have drawn comparisons to legends like Michael Jordan and Serena Williams, not just for their dominance, but for their ability to elevate their entire sport. Clark's trajectory suggests she may achieve similar heights. But what truly sets Clark apart is her vision for the future. By rejecting external gimmicks and staying loyal to the WNBA, she affirmed her belief in its ability to grow organically through talent and teamwork. She's not just shaping her own legacy, she's laying the foundation for a new golden age in women's basketball. As Clark enters her second season, one thing is clear: her story is just beginning. The basketball world isn't merely watching, it's rallying behind her. With every record she breaks and every milestone she reaches, Clark inspires fans, players, and an entire generation to dream bigger. This is more than a career. This is a movement. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's rewriting its future. The future is here, and Caitlin Clark is leading the way. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.